Page Dramas present The Title is Deceiving. This week's Front Page drama, The Title is Deceiving, is a dramatization of a feature news story entitled Problems of an $8-a-Week Baronet. This both amusing and amazing true life story will be found in next Sunday's issue of the American Weekly, the magazine that is read by more people than any other publication in the world, and comes to you each week as part of your Hearst Sunday newspaper. The hero of our unusual story is John William Frederick Fagg, a poor farmer laborer who almost overnight became Sir John Fagg, Baronet, the last of a long line of English title holders whose family history dates back to the 16th century, and whose members held important roles in 17th century English history. But to begin our story, let us visit a little pub or inn located in a small country town in Kent, England. It's about 8 o'clock in the evening, and a small crowd of farm laborers are enjoying their usual pint of ale, or perhaps mild and bitter, playing darts or discussing the news of the day.
Paul, come on, Fred. You're old enough to game. It's your turn.
Arthur, no. I'm not too wet from a blinking whistle. 15 off is dry work.
Oh,
Lizzie, another mild and bitter. Step lively, I'm holding up the guide.
Hold your horses there, Fred. I've only got one pair of hands, you know.
oh, come on, Fred. We want to finish this here game before closing time.
What are you saying? Look yonder. Who's the blinking drop that just came in? A bit of a swanker, ain't he?
Not off. Looks like one of them there Piccadilly Johnnies to me, but where's Fred? Oi, Fred, come on now. Look lively.
Stop twiddling that beer and step up there. We ain't got all night.
Here's a mild and bitter, Fred. Now get on with you. Yes, please. Oh, I beg your pardon, sir. What can I get for you?
I would like to get a little information if you don't mind, miss.
Right, sir, Governor. What would you like to know?
I'm looking for one John William Frederick Fagg. Could you point him out to me?
Oh, I never knew John Fagg. It's a long handle to his name. But I happen you ought to know that. Even if you don't know his face. There he is, standing over there, keeping score on the dart line. He's the big, jolly-looking open-faced bloke in the wall.
Oh, I see.
Right
Well,
here,
thanks,
Fred.
Dr.
No use to argue. We beat you fair and square. So stop blowing off and buy the bloomin' beer. I'm thirsty.
I say there, I'm awfully sorry to burst in like this, but it's jolly well important. Mr. Fagg?
All right, that's me, all right.
I'm Mr. Gerald Kingsley, of Kingsley, Rogers, Walker and Wood, solicitors and barristers at law, Temple Bar, London.
Happy to meet you, Mr. Kingsley, but what's up? What do you want with me?
A rather important business matter, Mr. Fagg. Could you spare me a few minutes?
All right, I reckon as I can. I've naught else to do except drink a pint of ale I've won from Sam here.
Well, why not get that later? I'll be very glad to buy you a drink or two while we discuss business.
All right, you are, sir. Sit down here in the corner and we won't be disturbed.
As I have already told you, we are a London law firm. And amongst many others, we represent the estate of the late Sir John Henry Lee Fagg, Baronet, who died recently in America. I believe you are his only living heir.
What did the London cost want, John? Like half important it is 20 wives in a row.
Hey, John. We've been so blinking serious and excited like we ought to have been able to drink our beer.
Oh, that's true. Now that the bastard's bloke and been gone, John, tell us what's up. Have you come into a fortune?
Well, something like that, you might say. Of course, it isn't all set yet.
Oh, come on now. Here, John. Don't be so drinking bastard-like. What's to do?
Well, he asked me a lot of questions about myself and my father and grandfather, great-grandfather and all.
He did?
Yeah, it appears like some relative, an uncle of mine who was a baronet, just died.
Lord, Lafayette. You and Uncle who was a baronet? Why didn't you tell us before?
Hey, John, he's keeping secrets on us, eh? Tommy Rod, I didn't even know myself. In fact, I'm not sure even now. I've got to get copies of my birth certificate along with those of my grandfather and all the rest. And then copies of marriage certificates of all of them as well. 4 sworn statements confirming the facts by the chief constable, a parson of our church, the tax collector, and one from my government. Send them all to London and have them investigated. If they prove I'm the one, I'll be a baron.
Oh, Lord blimey, after all that rigmarole, you ought to be something.
Yes, Sam, not so much blinging cheek. I've got a sort of notion our John might be the missing heir. Imagine being a baronet with a big ancestral castle, a big estate with stables. Here, John, if you do become a baronet, you'll need a first-class groom. How about me?
Ah, don't forget me, John. You need an housekeeper for all their meals and all. I'll be a blooming fine job, and it'll only cost you £2 a week. And keep. That's dirt cheap, too.
He's right. Right enough, John. For the big estate, you'll need an overseer and rent collector. You know, there ain't a farm, no matter how big, that I can't handle.
Blimey, won't Ivy be surprised, too? You could get married now, John. Imagine Ivy a blooming housemaid, being Lady Ivy Fagg. Gee, what's that?
Yeah, no, not so blooming fast. Wait until it's all settled and I become the real heir before you start anything. Remember, never count your chickens before they hatch.
Despite John's doubts, his friends spread the news like wildfire. Even Ivy, whom John was keeping company with, found out the news before John had a chance to tell her himself. Then, a few days later, a telegram came to John announcing the news. Everybody gathered around the post office where John received the wire.
All right. Come on now, John. Don't keep us in suspense like this. Open up the blinking envelope.
I'm fairly busting inside, John. I'm so excited.
Perhaps he's a fly. Come on, John. Things aren't everyone's fine, Ivy. Have a go at opening the thing and get it over. Ivy, you talk to him. Yes, John, dear, don't be afraid. I know we'll all be there before you, whichever way the news goes.
I suppose you're right. There you go.
John, dear, what does it say? Is it all right?
Hi, John, let's have it. Oh, you're all right, blooming baronet.
All right, quiet, everybody, and I'll read it. It says, your claim to the title of baronet upheld. Congratulations. You are now Sir John William Frederick, 11th baronet of the family of Saxon. Arranging completion of final details of estate. Will arrive last part of next week. Will wire day and time of arrival later. Signed, Gerald Kingston.
Well, that's a bit of all right, everybody. Off a no. How about 3 hearty British cheers for the Right Honourable Sir John Fagg, Baronet? Aye. Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray!
Oh, John, I don't know how I ever got through the day. I'm glad the lady gave me an off holiday. I couldn't have done any work anyway.
Well, darling, it won't be long now before you'll be a lady. Lady Fagg. And have your own house and servants.
Oh, John, I can hardly wait. Won't it be wonderful?
Ivy, the day after tomorrow is Sunday. What do you say to having the band published?
Oh, John, dear, I don't know what to say.
Well, there's always the jolly old chestnut. Oh, dear, this is so sudden. But seriously, Ivy, we've been courting for a long time. I'd saved up a few pounds hoping for the day we could get married, and now we can be married and have no worries. Ivy, dear, I do love you so ever so. Will you marry?
Oh, John, dear, I will.
Oh, darling. Oh, wonderful. 3 weeks from Monday shall be the day. Now, kiss me again, dear.
Oh, John, I'm so happy.
Oh, look, here comes Sam.
Oh, John, excuse me. Excuse Captain, please, a crowd.
Oh, chuck it, Sam. What's up? What's all the excitement?
Well, you ought to see what Lizzie's saying, John. It'll knock your blooming eyes out. Oh, Lizzie, come on over here with that there book.
I hope it's all we ain't breaking in on a little surprise as the thing starts. Oh, come off it, Lizzie. Don't be sloppy. What you got? It's like this here. I was down in the library today, looking about, and I came across this here book. See? It's called The Stately Homes of England, and here on page 60 up. I've lost the blooming place.
Ah, there you go, messing things up here. Give me that book. I'll find it. Here we are. Just tough to keep us over this, John.
Well, be broke. Ivy, look at this. Picturesque Winston Hall and Staining, the famed ancestral home of the Fagg family. One of the most magnificent of all the stately homes of England.
Oh, John, and that's to be our home? Of course it is. We can sit on the other party.
Yes, that's the Fagg ancestral home, all right.
And remember, John, you promised I might leave the head housekeeper.
Oh, and don't forget your old friend Sam. By the look of things, there's plenty of land there for me to superintend. Yeah, by the size of that place, you ought to have 50 head of horses for me to take care of.
Hold on a minute. I won't forget all of you, but this isn't the only good news. I want to announce Ivy has agreed to become my wife.
No.
The banns will be published beginning next Sunday.
Well, Lord love you. Well, it's your both a very
For the next week, the little country town was in a jither of excitement. The normal, quiet manner of living was completely upset. The only topics of conversation were John's good fortune and his forthcoming marriage, which was scheduled to be the social event of all time. Sam, Fred, and Lizzie couldn't wait until they assumed their new positions in the Fagg ancestral home. Then came the day when the lawyer arrived from London, and the excitement was at fever pitch. At John's humble little cottage, John and Ivy received their distinguished visitor.
I know you are anxious to hear all the details of your inheritance, so I shan't lose any time. I'll come right to the point. First, although you are now Sir John William Frederick Fagg, I regret to announce that you won't inherit a single penny from the estate.
You mean the Fag family fortune?
There is no such thing as the Fag family fortune. The family inheritance is all spent.
Well, that's a bit awkward, to say the least.
Yes, how can you expect you to keep up that great big house, the grounds and stables and
Yes,
all?
and where's the rent from the farm on the estate? Is that all spent?
The big house, grounds, stables, farms. I'm afraid I don't understand.
Oh, we mean this. Wait a minute. Ivy, where's that big book with a picture of the house in it?
Are you, by any chance, referring to Winston Hall and the estate of Spain?
That's the place.
Oh, good gracious, you didn't expect to inherit that. Why, Winston Hall and the estate were all sold more than 20 years ago to pay off back debt.
But it says in this book, the stately arms of England.
Oh, that. If you look at the publishing date, you'll find that it was written over 40 years ago.
Then what do we get out of this blooming inheritance?
You inherit the title of baronet and a strikingly beautiful coat of arms with the family crest, Tudor St. Lecture, which means safe if upright.
Well, I feel like lying down. What else?
A bill for my legal fees, which amounts to approximately £20.
What? Why, that's half my life savings, and I've already spent another 10 on birth certificates, old marriage licenses, and legal papers. I've spent the last 10 on preparations for our wedding. I haven't got a thing.
Oh, yes, you have. Well, now, there's the title, the family crest, and the coat of arms.
And you've got the job, yes, and me. I'll just keep on working, and we'll be happy, title or no title, in a baronial cottage of 4 rooms and a garden.
And so now, Sir John and Lady Ivy, who inherited a title and a barrel of troubles, carry on undaunted. Poor but happy on their joint income of $50 a month, living up to the motto on the family crest, safe if upright. You have just heard the front page drama, The Title is Deceiving, a dramatization of a very unusual news story to be featured in next Sunday's American Weekly, the magazine with the greatest circulation in the world, which comes to you each week with your Hearst Sunday newspaper.